Hello and welcome to a brand new video where we'll be discussing the intriguing topic of the most decorated racing teams in Formula One history. Throughout this video, you'll discover what's needed to form an F1 team that's destined for greatness. Does history show a pattern in the formula for success? And have there been any surprises along the way? Stick with us for a fun-fueled 7 minutes of the top 6 most successful F1 teams of all time. Number 6. Red Bull. It should be no surprise to our F1 fanatics that Red Bull would be number 6 on this list. As a team that's had their fair shares of ups and downs since its formation in 2005, they're probably disappointed that their title tally only adds up to 6 world championships, given the money that's been thrown into the project by the company and the sheer talent that has graced the wheels of their vehicles. Their glory years came in the early teens, as talent such as Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber saw Red Bull secure 12 wins and 18 pole positions in just 19 races during the 2011 season, followed by a world record-breaking 3 consecutive Constructors' Championship titles with the RB6. The next few seasons saw a downfall in Red Bull's success, losing Webber to Porsche in 2013 and Vettel to Ferrari after a poor 2014 campaign. Due to their academy team in Toro Rosso, Red Bull have an ability to give racers the chance to prove their worth before being promoted to the Red Bull team. This is why we can only assume the best is yet to come for the 5-time world champions. Number 5. Team Lotus. In what was arguably the biggest rise and heaviest fall of any F1 team in history, Lotus zoom into our list at number 5. Newer fans of the sport may not know about the most successful team in the swinging 60s and 70s era. However, during that time, Lotus managed 6 Drivers' Championships and 7 Constructors' Championships. Lotus's true claim to fame was their ability to change the dynamics of F1 cars for the next 15 years, as they introduced the discovery of ground effect in the design of their cars, a truly innovative revolution in racing until its ban in 1986. Lotus disbanded its team in 1994. Since then, it's seen some intriguing cameos, with the name being used by a number of companies in their race for success. However, none of these cameos truly lived up to the name. Number 4. Mercedes. It's surprising to see a relatively newly formed team dominating the podiums over the last decade, but Mercedes are doing exactly that, racking up a stunning 9 titles in just 12 years, putting them at number 4 on our list. Maybe it's not so surprising, since they secured the signature of a man who would go on to be F1's most decorated driver in history, Lewis Hamilton, in 2013. In 2014, Mercedes tested the V6 hybrid engines in their bid to become world dominators in the sport, just like they were way back in 1950, until they crashed out of motorsport, reforming 60 years later. The next 121 races saw Mercedes win a mind-boggling 89, failing to win just 32, meaning it's very likely that they'll become the top of this list when we do a remake of this video in 10 years' time. Number 3. Williams. The rampaging success of Mercedes puts them on level terms with one of history's greatest teams, Williams, who claimed 9 titles throughout the 80s and 90s with their dominant displays on the Grand Prix circuit. Deals with Honda and Renault made them the team to beat, with cars consisting of the most powerful engines and talented drivers of the time. A deadly combination for success. The fall of the Williams franchise came at the end of the 20th century. Since then, they've won 0 titles and just the 2 race wins from 2001 to 2012. Another disappointing, winless decade, and they eventually got sold to Dolitron Capital in 2021, where things are potentially looking on the rise after a 2020 season where things can't possibly get much worse, finishing without a single point in that campaign. As they say when you hit rock bottom, it's only up from here, and hey, they came 3rd on our list, so it's not all doom and gloom. Number 2. McLaren. McLaren have a whopping 12 Drivers' Championships to their name. However, much like in the 2010 final standings, were pipped at the post and must settle for second. Formed in 1963, McLaren have seen a wealth of stars rise through their ranks, including a successful spell with Lewis Hamilton. Their glory days, however, came in the 80s and 90s, where they utilized Honda and Porsche power to rise to the top, winning 7 of their 12 Drivers' Championships during that time. More recently, things are looking up for the highly decorated team, with the recent introduction of talented young driver Lando Norris in 2019, combined with their newly found Renault power. It seems we might see a new generation of McLaren success. Their first win since 2012 came just last year, meaning the best is surely yet to come for Norris and the team. Number 1. Ferrari. Just like in the football, the Italians have found a way to dominate the world of F1. Ferrari are by far the most decorated F1 team. Although they have shared some entertaining rivalries over the years, Ferrari almost always come out on top. When you mess with them, you'll feel the full fire of Italian engineering. The proof is in the trophy cabinet, boasting 15 Drivers' Championships and 16 Constructors' Championships since their formation in 1950, along with more podium finishes, pole positions, and fastest laps than any other team in history. It also helps that they started racing in Formula One way before anyone else on our list today. So, there you have it. Another video comes to an end. If you'd like to see that follow-up video in 10 years' time that we mentioned earlier, why not like and subscribe or even donate to us on the Buy Me a Coffee website so we can keep making these videos for years to come. Speaking of new videos, please check out our latest video on Red Bull's best ever Academy drivers. Take care and see you next time.